name is Adam Reich. We are here today at Bev's Gym, exactly 1 week out from the NPC Nationals down in Miami. And today we are training biceps and triceps. Check it out. Arms, I always start with triceps. I like to warm my elbows up a little bit. Always starting with the cable movement, whether it's a rope or a push down. This exercise I've been using a lot to start with. It's a push down variation supersetted with a pull down. Gets a lot of blood into the outer head of the tricep, and it sets off a good start for the remainder of the tricep workout. Okay, so I got into bodybuilding like a lot of athletes competing and playing sports in high school. I actually started my long bodybuilding career at the age of 17 years old, competing in a teenage class at 17. I followed that with a few third place finishes at Teenage Nationals, Collegiate Nationals, competing in Junior Nationals most recently. My last competition was 2012 Junior Nationals, which I won my class as a middleweight. And then followed that 6 weeks later at the 2012 USAs and took third again as a middleweight. Took last year, 2013, off. Started a family, my wife, got married, had two twin girls, and decided to give it another shot this year. I linked up with the one and only Chad Nichols, who has been amazing to have in my corner this year. And I think the package that we brought this year has significantly blown 2012 out of the water and then some. Last weekend I competed as a middleweight at 176 pounds at the NPC Eastern USAs, where I won my class as a middleweight. And here we are again, 1 week out, exactly 7 days from today, as Friday is prejudging from the NPC Nationals down in Miami. This prep has been almost completely different in all aspects from previous. Like I said, I started working with Chad Nichols in probably the beginning of July. We had a full 12 weeks together. And besides, of course, now having a family and more responsibilities, and that's all added to the stress of contest prep, as many people can attest to. But the diet itself, the vigorous training, the cardio, is all completely different and not really what I'm used to. A lot of the diet starts off, especially in the beginning, started off with a lot of red meat, shakes, chicken. And then when you got into the real grind of the diet, switching over to some fish meals. I've been eating a lot of mahi-mahi lately. Being a person that really doesn't like the taste of fish, I found that mahi-mahi is one of the least fishiest tasting fish there is. So I can't stand tilapia. But at this point, whatever works, we're going to do. So right now, my diet, especially at 1 week out, my carbs are very low. I'm eating just a few chicken meals, a few fish meals, and still have a couple shakes in. Next week, as we fly out to Miami on Tuesday, we'll start loading up, taking the fish out, putting in some more red meat, some steak, some ground beef, adding in the chicken, and of course filling back up with carbs. So I bring a much fuller package to the stage. I began the diet at about 225 pounds. Everybody always asks how I make weight as a middleweight. I squeeze right in at 176 pounds. Not easy. I don't know if it can happen again after this year, but we made it happen. And you know, I think that's why the diet itself was so rough this prep, just to make sure we were ahead of schedule, so I wasn't trying to make weight at the last second. I kind of just coasted really right into the Easterns last weekend without having to really pull water or carb load, or it was kind of just another day. I just needed to qualify again for Nationals since I didn't compete last year. So the real test will be next weekend when we have some more time. Weigh-ins is the day before prejudging, so I'll have a significantly more amount of time to carb up and to fill out. So the idea is to be fuller on stage, of course. Same conditioning, maybe even a little tighter if possible. Of course, a lot of people think as you get closer to the end of the prep, you're gonna be weaker, you know, which is true. But you want to still train as heavy as possible. You want to hold on and maintain that dense, thick muscle. And the only way you can do that is by still training heavy. With your calories restricted and your cardio increased, you want to still train as heavy as possible. Of course, I competed last weekend and I'm only a week out from Nationals, so I'm going to be very weak. My glycogen is almost completely depleted right now, and my carbs, like I said before, are very low. But I'm still trying to push as much blood into the muscle. That's always my goal every workout, is to get as best as a pump as possible, whether, you know, some weeks, depending on how the diet is set up, is better than others. But that's always my goal, is to train as heavy as possible with that one goal of getting a significant pump. I'm just going to give a thank you to, of course, Muscular Development for giving me this opportunity. My man Adam Silver behind the camera has always looked out for me even since I was a teenager. And of course, Bev and Steve. Bev's gym is the best gym on the East Coast. I love coming out here. Even if it's not too close to home, it's definitely worth the trip. I need to give a huge thank you to my wife, who's been my #1 supporter this whole prep, kept me motivated, really pushed me when I wanted to give up. Want to give a huge thank you to my sponsor, Inner Armor, and all my Team A-Bomb clients for pushing me and allowing me to do what we all love to do. And finally, I want to thank Chad Nichols for everything he's done for me. Even outside of prep, he's been a great mentor, and I hope to not let anybody down and fulfill what we started back in July.